Good evening, class of 2014, parents, staff, and families. Seniors, this is the moment. We are gathered tonight because of you as we celebrate you and your accomplishments. For the past 13 years, you have left your mark in the 4 A's: academics, activities, arts, and athletics. You've enjoyed tremendous academic success measured by the numbers. Outside of the classroom, from concerts, clubs, plays, state championships, and most recently some magic tricks that I've seen, fundraising for local charities, to the last pitch thrown, you have represented us well and you've excelled. I've observed you wearing the M with pride, and without a doubt, you have set the bar high for future classes. Tonight, I want to move beyond the 4 A's and share with you what I've observed, what I believe now defines you as a class. Seniors, in our time together, I have learned a lot, most of which is not in any textbook. So I'd like to share a few highlights with you. So just last week, I learned that all good human tunnels lead to delicious donuts. Something I will not soon forget. Thank you. In terms of athletics, I witnessed that now knee hockey should be added to the Minnesota State High School League sports for consideration. This year, communication was a key priority, and Twitter became, as mentioned, a solution. But just a year ago, I was a novice. I believe that a hashtag prior to this point was a side item at Perkins for breakfast. And now, thanks to you, and I must also admit Jimmy Fallon, I now know it's one way to express yourself. This year, as you know, we've endured a brutal winter. However, I was amazed as you demonstrated new levels of empathy for little ones at the elementary schools through the many tweets you would send me, sharing your willingness to sacrifice school so we could protect them from the polar vortex. Now that said, the underclassmen won't soon forget that you have used up all snow days for the next 15 years. You are obviously my first graduating class as principal of Minnetonka High School. And honestly, without a doubt, you always have a special place in my heart. In fact, I began to think about this speech last September when we gathered for the first time as a large group in the auditorium to talk about this year. I asked you to think about what you want to be known not only now, at the end of this year rather, but also in the year 2064 at your 50th reunion. In the fabric of Minnetonka High School is the word legacy. What you've taught me is that legacy is not defined by one spectacular moment or singular event. It's constructed by the small daily interactions. And I've seen those positive and affirming interactions every single day. They really have comprised your legacy. Dr. Howard Gardner, author of Truth, Beauty, and Goodness, and Harvard professor, writes about the importance of goodness. He says the first and primary sense of good has been with us over the millennia. It refers to how we treat our relatives, friends, neighbors. Are we cruel or kind, generous or selfish, fair or unfair? And no matter what changes happen in our lives, he says how we treat and care for each other is timeless and will continue to transcend all we do. In my life, I have experienced many lessons of goodness, but none more than from my mom. Over the years, I've watched such caring interactions between my mom and dad as they modeled for me how one should treat another. However, the most significant lesson came when my dad had suffered a stroke 14 years ago. To this day has kept him in a wheelchair and needing assistance. I witnessed her tremendous care for him. I've been in awe of her patience, love, and selfless care. This ongoing act of goodness has trumped everything else that's taken place in their lives and has sustained them in spite of the curveball that life threw them. Quite simply, nothing else matters. For me, it has been a clear picture of how one truly cares for and treats another. It's not always easy, but doing the right thing rarely is. True goodness is what I want for my own children, and it's what I want for you. You've shown me your goodness this year and how you've treated and cared for each other. When I was recently asked on camera, what are 2 words that describe your class, I said leaders and united. As a united class, you've taken the mantra, we are one, and have done what few places can really say. You've woven it into the DNA of our school. And that was not done only during the celebrations where you might be wearing your striped overalls for a championship soccer game, or some of you wearing some interesting tutus at a pep fest, but how you'd lift each other up during the challenging times. Few will forget the powerful image of your united class in the Commons, all wearing orange to support your classmate Andrew. This mantra has united and inspired you, and in turn inspired me along with those well beyond the walls of Minnetonka High School. Carry forward what you started here as you go well beyond this place into your many new and varying adventures. And as you continue on this trajectory, I can only imagine what your goodness quotient will be as you gather to reminisce in 2064. Now, before you flip your tassels and change your status to alumni, let's take a moment of goodness and gratitude. There are some very important people here tonight. People who have inspired you, encouraged you, cared for you. People have driven you to countless practices, games, concerts, packed you lunches with juice boxes, quizzed you on your spelling words, and helped you with your science projects. Before you leave, make sure you take time to share your gratitude with these people, your parents, teachers, staff, grandparents, friends. These people have stood behind you and cheered you along the way. And let me end my speech by me sharing my gratitude for you. I really struggled the past few weeks how to put this into words, to express my gratitude. Without a doubt, I could not have asked for better leadership, unity, care, patience for the new guy, humor beyond belief, enthusiasm, even when unbridled, or success in and out of the classroom. You've impacted an entire generation of underclassmen and me with your goodness. I learned a long time ago that when in doubt, stick to the simplest, truest statement. And for me to you, you matter. May your life find you grateful for success, resilient through your challenges, and happy as you share your goodness. See you in 2064, and thank you. And now the moment. We will now recognize the class of 2014. Now we understand the immense pride and happiness that you're feeling at this point. And for some it might be challenging to harness that enthusiasm. So on behalf of the graduates of Minnetonka High School, I ask you to respect the formal nature of this ceremony and help us make it as dignified and as respectful as possible. Please hold your applause and refrain from other shout-outs of encouragement until all names are read. We just would not want a student to miss their name being heard by an outburst, no matter how well intended. Please help us make this a formal ceremony and a night to cherish and remember. Members of the Cabinet, Superintendent Peterson, members of the school board, on behalf of the teaching staff at Minnetonka High School, I certify that the following diploma candidates have met all requirements outlined by both the state of Minnesota and the Minnetonka School District for participation in this ceremony. Minnetonka High School staff members, Mr. Tim Felty, Ms. Paula Christ, Mr. Chris Paris, and Mr. Tony DiLorenzo will read candidates' names. However, before we begin calling our graduates forward, I'd like to pause and acknowledge one of our seniors who's not here tonight, but I know is on the minds of many. As you know, Andrew Vigor was in an accident in mid-April and is currently recovering at Gillette Hospital. I connected with his family this week, and they would like to share their gratitude for the entire community support. Mr. Vigor shared with me that they will always remember the strength and support given to their family by the staff, by the students of the graduating class of 2014. Andrew's dad shared that it is a strength founded in faith, family, and community, a strength passed on from grandparents, parents, and to you, graduating seniors. This is truly the legacy of Minnetonka High School. Andrew is a true example of a leader. His love for his siblings and parents is equally matched by his love for his school and friends. Now, as I mentioned this morning, this graduation is being streamed live on YouTube, and we would like to take a moment right now to give Andrew one big shout out with him. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you say go Vigor. And again, we're going to harness all of the positive energy in this room to Andrew's way. So 1, 2, 3, go Vigor. So 1, 2, 3, go Vigor! Many of the audience see the orange stickers are on the hats, or the caps of the graduates tonight to honor Andrew. And I know that Andrew would want you to be enjoying this evening. In his heart, he is celebrating with you. So tonight, we begin the process. Would the name readers please come forward? Congratulations, seniors.